There are stories the world was never meant to know. Stories written not in ink, but in stolen glances, in late-night phone calls, and in silent footsteps taken far away from flashing cameras. And this is one of those stories. It wasn't supposed to be seen. It wasn't planned for the public. No photos, no tabloids, no interviews. Just two people, escaping the noise of the world. Two people who once burned so brightly together, disappearing into silence. Together. Their names? Yaman and Demet Özdemir. And what happened during their secret vacation is something neither of them ever confirmed, but both of them felt. Let's go back. Back to where the story first began. When Erkenci Kuş hit Turkish screens, something unexpected happened. Viewers fell in love with the story, but more than that, they fell in love with what they saw between the lead actors. On-screen chemistry so powerful, so undeniable, that people started to wonder, was it really just acting? Was it all part of the script? Or was something real blossoming behind the scenes? Whispers turned into rumors. Rumors turned into certainty. Fans saw it in their eyes, the way Can looked at her when she wasn't speaking, the way Demet smiled when he wasn't looking. It felt authentic. And for a while, maybe it was. But the spotlight is cruel. Fame doesn't let you fall in love quietly. Suddenly, everything they did was being watched, dissected, turned into headlines. And so, as quickly as it began, it ended. The show wrapped. They stopped working together. They stopped appearing together. And eventually, they stopped speaking about one another altogether. Can flew off into a new world of European fame. Italy embraced him. Commercials, magazine covers, screaming fans. He became an international icon. Meanwhile, Demet stayed grounded, taking on roles that challenged her, speaking honestly in interviews, showing her emotional depth and maturity. The distance between them grew. And fans began to accept what they feared most: it was over. Until one day, something strange happened. They both disappeared. Not from life, no, they were still active, still posting. But something was off. They were both in places that didn't make sense. Their social media hinted at a vacation. Quiet. Secluded. No tags, no locations. Just nature, peace, silence. Kim posted a video of waves crashing on rocks. Demet shared a photo of a quiet shoreline. Nothing more. But fans, ever observant, ever loyal, noticed the impossible. The skies looked the same. The water. The trees. Even the lighting. Within days, fan accounts were buzzing. Were they in the same place? Could it be a coincidence? Or, were they together again, in secret? Then, it happened. A grainy photo, leaked online. Two people, walking barefoot along the sand. Their backs turned. Heads close. No faces shown. But anyone who followed them knew. It was Can. It was Demet. And they were alone. Suddenly, the questions came pouring in. What was going on? Were they back together? Why were they hiding it? But the truth, the real truth, was never officially spoken. What happened during that trip remains theirs, and maybe that's the point. Some sources claimed it was about closure. That they needed to clear the air, to make peace with the past. Others whispered it was something deeper. A spark rekindled. A love revisited. A connection they never really lost. People close to them said they spent hours walking, talking, laughing. That they stayed in a small villa away from everything. That they played music, cooked together, sat by the fire late at night. And that maybe, just maybe, they remembered what it felt like to be understood. But then, just like that, it was over. They returned to their public lives. No explanations. No confirmations. Just silence. Demet posted a quote from a book about memories being the only thing we truly own. Kim posted a black and white image of the sea with no caption at all. Their eyes said more than their words ever could. Weeks later, during a press conference, someone asked Demet about love. She smiled softly and said, "Some stories are too beautiful to explain. You just live them once, and then you carry them with you." Can was also asked, and after a long pause, he simply said, "Not everything needs to be public. Some things are better left between hearts." No one confirmed the trip. No one denied it either. But fans knew. They always knew. Because love, real love, leaves traces. Not always in grand gestures or loud announcements, but in the quiet, the in-between, the things unsaid. And that's what this was. A moment in time. A breath shared. A space where they were just Can and Demet, not actors, not celebrities, not exes. Just two people, remembering who they once were. And maybe still are. So, what was that secret vacation? A reunion? A goodbye? A new beginning? We'll never know for sure. But sometimes, mystery is what makes a story magical. Because in a world obsessed with knowing everything, there's something romantic about two people choosing to keep something just for themselves. And if you ask the fans, they'll tell you the truth wasn't in the photos, or the posts, or the interviews. It wasn't in what they said, but in what they didn't. It was in the silence. In the quiet timing of two souls crossing paths once more. In the way their lives briefly aligned again, as if fate gave them a soft, final echo of what once was. Not a reconciliation for the world to witness. Not a performance. But a moment. A pause in the chaos. A deep breath shared beneath the same sky. A reminder that no matter how much time passes, some connections never truly unravel. The kind of connection that lives in between sentences, in glances that carry the weight of 1,000 unsaid things. It was like the universe held open a door. Just for a little while. One last chapter, unspoken. Unfinished. But unforgettable. And maybe that's what makes it beautiful. Because sometimes, the most powerful parts of our lives are the ones no one else sees. The ones we don't post. The ones we don't explain. The ones that exist only in memories, in dreams, in songs that suddenly hit differently, years later. So if you ask the fans, the ones who watched from the beginning, they'll say, that vacation wasn't just a getaway. It was a heartbeat. A flicker. A quiet truth lived off camera. A final page turned, with care. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, even just a little, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Because behind the glitz, behind the cameras, behind the headlines, are real hearts, real feelings, and stories too delicate for the spotlight. Stories like this one. Because not everything is meant to be explained. Some things are simply human. And that's what makes them unforgettable. Until next time. Protect your peace, listen to the quiet in your own heart, and remember, the most powerful love stories are the ones we never fully understand, but somehow, never forget.